Two PGA Tour executives are facing the Senate today after announcing a deal with Saudi Arabia's backed LIV Golf. Ranking member of today's hearing, Senator Ron Johnson, says this merger is a win-win for both parties involved.
It struck me as this is a kind of a win-win situation for the parties involved. They basically, it sounds like the Saudi got a seat at the table in terms of golf, but PGA retained its control over the game, over the competition.
Kansas Senator Roger Marshall was at today's hearing, and he joins us now. Senator, it's great to have you on the program today. Thank you for being here. Obviously, there's Senator Johnson's point of view, but the flip side of that is that we should not be doing business or consider merging a U.S. company with a Saudi-backed entity because of Saudi Arabia's involvement in 9/11, for example, and its involvement in the killing of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, human rights abuses, issues like that. Where do you stand on this issue and what was said today?
Right. So certainly I want to express my empathy to all the 9/11 families, the victims, and they make an absolute great point. But my concern is, how did this issue rise to the level of a Senate hearing? This is not what folks back home are talking about, feeling that we should be investigating. There's so many other things. They want to know where the cocaine in the White House came from. They want to understand the origin of COVID. They want to understand why is China dumping all this fentanyl in our country. Not to mention the human rights violations of China as well. So I think that's what I walked away from, is I just don't see anything there that rises to this level as well. If we're going to hold Saudi Arabia accountable, then let's hold China accountable for their human rights issues as well. Many other countries, certainly Saudi has significant investments in many American companies already. I think Senator Johnson makes a good point that they're trying to make the best of a tough situation. Still have some antitrust concerns going forward as well, but beyond that, I just don't see why this was the subject matter for a Senate hearing at this level.
So, Senator, let's go to some of that other subject matter. A judge denying the Justice Department's request to pause an order blocking Biden officials from contacting social media companies. Republicans behind the lawsuit are declaring this a victory.
You got agencies across the board that were working directly with and coercing social media giants to censor Americans and violate their First Amendment rights. And that's what this case represents, getting us back to a place where people can speak freely and openly without the threat of government censorship.
So, Senator, the judge said, look, White House, other agencies, you can't talk to social media companies, suppress speech. Those agencies pushed back and said, we want to keep doing this. The judge again said, no, you can't do it. That sounds like a win for speech. But my question is, how do you hold these tech companies responsible who willingly participated in what the government was doing?
Right. So certainly what Joe Biden is doing now is pouring salt on a very open wound. He willingly went in there and censored issues, everything from gender issues to the economy to climate. We all know about the COVID censoring. And now the judge has called him on it. He wants to appeal that. That is a total disregard for the First Amendment. But your question, we actually had the same discussion last night. Senator Eric Schmidt from the great state of Missouri, he led the discussion. He started this case as well. Maybe somehow we take away Section 230 from them if they continue to cooperate with the White House in this censorship. But this is a big issue for all of us here, and I guarantee you we're going to keep their feet to the fire.
Well, Senator, I appreciate that. And I know America, you talk about what America cares about. One thing all of us care about is free speech. It's a bedrock right, and it feels right now like the government deeply has its finger on the side of suppression. That's no good. Thanks for standing up for free speech. We got to leave it there.
Thank you.